Hi everyone, welcome back to part 2 of your fluency test. Question 13, make A the subject. So A is the letter that we care about. We do not care about Y or X in here. So we don't need to expand those brackets. So we'll leave the first part as it is. We do not care about them. And we need to get rid of the -4. Because A will need to be left on its own. To do so, we do +4 on both sides. And that cancels it to leave us with just 3A. Okay, A is still not on its own. It's got a multiplication of 3 next to it. We need to get rid of that. And to do so, we divide both sides by 3. So A is equal to y 2 plus x plus 4, all of it divided by 3. If you expanded brackets there, you would not be wrong, but there was no need to do so. Question 14, complete the table. So the values of x have been given to us. All we need to do is substitute. We have a -1 here, that's x, minus 12. Use the number lines when you work with questions that require you to add negative numbers. That's very, very helpful, and you can physically see what the numbers add up. So if I have 0, -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, these are all negative numbers because above 0, they're all positive. So your starting point is -1, and you got 12 down. So you've got 12 steps down. Count them as you move on, and you will be landing at -13. Same principle, when you are at 1, you got 12 down, and you will be, so 1, take away 12. This is the operation you have in here. 1, take away 12. You'll end up at -11. Then we have 3, take away 12. You'll end up at -9. And 5, take away 12. You'll end up at -7. Number 15, factorize. To factorize, we find the highest common factors. So the highest common factor of 16, 12, and 20 would be 4, because 4 goes into all of them. So we need to rewrite this expression showing the 4. So the 16 is made out of 4 times 4 times, and then I have x squared, so that will be x times x. This expression that I wrote in here, 4 times 4 times x, is the same as 16x squared. Now I'm going to move on to the next part, which is the 12. I need to express the 12 as a product of 4. So -3 times +4 gives me a -12. Then I have the x there too. Now I'm going to move on to the third part. I need to express 20 as a product of 4 and another number. So that will be 5 times 4 gives me 20. Then I have times x times y behind it. You can see that. What you need to do now, you need to collect the factors that are the same to get it out of the bracket. So we said that 4 is what was in common in all of them, because that's part. This is in parts, as you can see. So 4 is in common in all of them. That comes out. Then you check, have I got anything else that's in common there? Well, you do. You have an x there, another one there, and another one there. So that will need to come out too. Then in the bracket, we will write whatever you're left with. So you are left with 4 here, and you're left with an x there. So 4x. Then you have, on the second part, you have a 3. You can see there, don't forget the sign. -3. And you don't have any letters because the x came out. Plus, on the last part, you have a 5, and then you have a y that's there. It's a 5y. And you have finished factorizing it. Question 16, simplify. So we have index laws. We're going to do it one by one. First of all, we're going to deal with brackets. So when we have powers and brackets, they multiply. We leave the 4 as it is there. So x squared, all in bracket to the power of 3. 2 times 3 will give me a 6. So what I'm trying to say is x squared, all to the power of 3, is the same as x 2 times 3, which is x to the power of 6. That's where the 6 came from, over 7 to the power of x. Now I'll deal with the numerator. We have same basis, we add the powers. 4 add 6 is 10 over 7 to the power, x to the power of 7. Now when they divide, because the fraction line is division, we subtract the powers. So 10 take away 7 is 3. And that is my final answer. Question 17. What's the speed of a woman who runs 8 miles in 40 minutes? We know that we have to do a box method for this sort of questions. So miles, and we have minutes. What we have been given so far is we have 8 miles in 40 minutes. Our aim is to go to 60 minutes because that is 1 hour. It's difficult to go side to side. This is a little bit difficult because you need to find the middleman. However, you can do this connection. 8 to go to 40 is times 5. So what number do you need to times by 5 to go to 60? And that number would be 12. So your answer is 12 miles per hour. Don't forget, it's per hour per 60 minutes. Question 18, estimate. So we have to round to 1 SF. First thing that we do before we calculate, we round, draw the line after the first number. That is an 8. 8 is bigger than 5, so they'll change the 2. That becomes a 3. Plus, in the brackets, draw the line. 5, it's bigger than 4, so they'll become a 5. I'm not calculating anything at the moment, I'm just rounding. Take away, draw the line. 4 is not strong enough to change the 9, so that remains as it is. Now you can calculate. Don't forget BIDMAS. So 5 squared is 25. Take away 9. Brackets first, always. 25, take away the 9 is a 16. And the 2 together would give you a 19. And that will be the answer for that question. Question 19, we have a same equation. A lot of you are struggling with this sort of questions, so please pay attention because you'll need them. We have steps that we have to follow, and the first one that we do is I would label them A and B. Step 2, we need to eliminate one of the unknowns because we have 2 letters, we have 2 unknowns. It's a same equation. That's how you know that. But we need to eliminate one of them in order for you to solve. And we're going to eliminate the letter that has the same number in front of it. In our case, that will be X. Because it's no number there, we know it's a 1. So we need to eliminate X. To do so, we need to add these 2 equations. We need to take away, these 2 equations from each other. So X take away X will leave you with nothing. That's how you know that you have to take away. Or you can do same sign subtracts. X take away X, nothing. This is our aim. Now we got -4 4y. I'm going to write on the side so then you see what's going on. I am subtracting a negative y. Now, we know that that will give you a positive. These two make a positive. So negative y, negative 4y, add a y, will be a negative 3y. Be very careful with this. So this will give me a negative 3y. Now I have 27, take away 9, gives me a positive 18. It's just 27, take away 9. Now we need to divide both sides by negative 3. So then I am left with y. So y will give me a negative 6. Be careful with the sign, because negative 6 times negative 3 will give you a positive 18. Now they have figured out the y, all we have to do is work out x. And to do so, we substitute. So we're going to substitute our value onto equation A. Does that? I'll make some space here. So I have x to find out. Take away 4 lots of negative 6. That gives me 27. So I have x. Negative times a negative gives you a positive. 24. Then we take away 24 on both sides because we need x on our own. So x will be equal to 3. We have one more thing to do. We need to check that our answers work, and we do so by substituting into b. So we have 3. Our b equation is 3. I'm substituting x. Take away 6 equals to 9. This gives me a positive. So 3 plus 6 is 9. So I know I have got the correct solutions for it. Question 20, evaluate. This is a non-calculator question, so do not reach for your calculators. We need to make equivalent fractions in order to divide decimals. And to do so, our aim is to have here an integer. If we times 0.04 by 100, we go into 4, and that's our aim. Whatever we do to the bottom, we do to the top. And that will be 920 divided by 4. From here, we need a bus stop method. 4 into 9 is twice with a remainder of 1. 4 into 12 is 3 times with no remainder, and 4 into 0 is 0. So answer 230. Question 21, expand and simplify. So we're going to multiply x by x and x by negative 5. Then we're going to do the same with 2. 2 times x, 2x, and 2 times negative 5, negative 10. Now we collect like terms. X squared, negative 3x, negative 10. And that's finished. Factorize. To factorize, we need to make brackets. And because we have an x squared, we know that we had 2 x's in here before we got the x squared. Our aim now is to find the other 2 numbers. So what 2 numbers multiply to 4? So we need them to multiply to 4, but add to negative 4. So 1 times 4 is 4. Is 1 add 4, 4? Well, no. I have 2 times 2 is 4. Is 2 add to a negative 4? No, it's not. So let's try negative 2 times negative 2. Well, that gives me a positive 4. Does negative 2 add a negative 2 give me a negative 4? This is how you need to ask yourself. Well, the answer is yes. So we know that this is the pair that we need. Negative 2, negative 2. And that is finished. That would be your final answer there. Question 23. Calculate the area. A couple of you are leaving these questions empty in the test. Just get the formula. Area is pi radius squared. And it's asking you to leave it in terms of pi. So nice and simple then. It doesn't need you to calculate anything. All you need to do is pi times 9 squared. I don't need to do anything with pi. 9 squared is 81, so 81 pi. Your area is 81 pi. Question 24. Find the solutions for this inequality. We know now how we work these questions out. We have a -9, and that is included because of this line that you see underneath there. And then we have here a -2. So this will be -1, and then it will be 0, and so on. So all these numbers, this is not included, all these numbers that are in there are your solutions. All we need to do, we need to list them. So -6, -5, -4, and -3. We do not write the -2 because that's not included in our solutions. Question 25, calculate x with reasons. Okay, so we know that a straight line is 180. So I have 5x plus x, it makes me a straight line. There's 6 x's together, and I know that the 6 x's are 180 degrees. Well, it's asking me for one of them, not 6 of them. So if I divide both sides by 6, I get x. So 180 divided by 6, x is 30. Nice and simple. Calculate x. X is an exterior angle, and regardless of the shape, all exterior angles add up to 360 in any shape. So let's write that down. All the sum rather than all, let's just write it correctly. The sum, so when you add them together, of exterior angles is 360. So that's a rule that you need to know. Now, this x here is the exterior angle of a pentagon. So 5 sides. So when I add 5 x's together, so if I have 5 x's to add, because it's a pentagon, it's got 5 exterior angles, they need to make me 360. So from here, I just divide by 5, and I will get my answer. For that, you need a division. There is no calculator in here. So 5 into 36 goes 5 times. No, it doesn't. Go 7 times. 5 sevens are 35, a remainder of 1. 5 into 10 goes twice. Remember, and the answer is 72. So x is 72. All right, guys, please make sure you mark your work and send the photos to Sir and myself. Take care, everybody.